Yeah.
It's George.
It's Elaine.
Come on up.
Hey, Vinny, listen to
I never heard anything like this in my life. Listen to this.
This is exciting! This is exciting! Huh? Did I miss anything already?
Kramer, get in!
Where's the crazy man?
Hey, sit down. Come on, it's about to start.
Hello and welcome to Seincast, a retrospective on all 180 episodes of Seinfeld, being hosted by two guys who can barely run their own lives. My name is Joseph Puglia.
My name's Gipple, I guess.
Hello, Gipple. How you doing?
Hello. It was really nice visiting with you this past weekend.
It was truly a pleasure.
Yes, you got a new place, got some new furniture.
We assembled some IKEA stuff. That was nice.
We took our relationship to the next phase. I helped you move a little bit somewhere.
That's right.
You gave me a wonderful gift. Why don't you tell everyone what it was?
Well, upon researching the internet for Seinfeld merch for me to spend my money on, I stumbled upon the Seinfeld oven mitt, and it's probably most notable from the later seasons, probably season 7, 8, 9. But if you look at Jerry's fridge on the left-hand side, he has an oven mitt hanging, and it throughout the seasons it does change, but for the last 3, it seems to be this kitty oven mitt. And there are some gentlemen started a website, and if you Google Seinfeld, actually, should I get the actual website?
Well, yeah, I'll explain to everyone real quick. This is the one he has on like the left side of his fridge. I think in the seasons prior, he had one of those cow oven mitts.
Yeah, it was white and black.
Yeah.
The cat one is yellow and black. Mm-hmm. And the website is called SeinfeldOvenMitt.com.
Right. Everyone should check this out because it's for that diehard Seinfeld fan in your life. This is a really neat little gift that they'll get a kick out of. I'll never use mine. I'll just hang it up as, be decorative. But if anyone out there is ever planning on, building their own Seinfeld apartment, this would be a great prop to have there.
Yeah.
I'd like to look back at those Hulu set pics that we took, and I wonder if they had theirs hanging up as well.
I can check right now as we're talking.
Oh, okay. Well, it was great seeing you, Vinny. We had a really nice time visiting. Just a heads up, though, before we get further into this week's episode, Vinny and I are using a different software to record this week's episode. So apologies if the audio quality dips or is better. If it's better, hey, that's a good thing. But apologies if it sounds any different than normal.
I just checked our Seinfeld Hulu apartment pics. It's got both the cow and the cat.
There you go.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Aw.
Because we had a discussion at your new place if the two were ever together in an episode, and I thought they were for a while. Then they eventually phased one out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
interesting.
Next, the cow oven mitt. What episode are we discussing this week?
We're doing the 21st episode of season 4, The Junior Mint. Written by Andy Robin, directed by Tom Sharonis, and originally airing March 18th, 1993.
Right on. That name, Andy Robin, might not be that familiar to Seinfeld fans at this point. This is the first episode he ever wrote. But, if Peter Melman, the Larrys, and Jerry are part of that, first generation of writers, Andy Robin is definitely part of the next generation of writers. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking of Jeff Schaefer, Dave Mendel, Alec Berg.
Tom Gamble, Max Pross.
There you go. Absolutely. I'm just looking at a couple of his writing credits right now. He'll come back to do The Barber, season 5. And then for season 6 through 9, he works with his writing partner, Greg Cavett. And they got so many great episodes. The Frogger, The Slicer, The Fatigues, The Comeback, The Hot Tub, The Bottle Deposit. A lot of good ones there. Can't wait to talk about those episodes when we get to them. But as you mentioned, Vinny, today we're talking about The Junior Mint, which is an interesting episode, to say the least, especially for season 4. This, I would argue, is when the series takes that leap forward, or at least, not permanently, but at least temporarily tries out an absurd, broad topic and gets away with it.
It crosses the line of, hardcore realism, grounded in just, I think as Andy Robin put it, conversationalism, being a conversational show, to being a little bit more broad, a little wacky, but damn, does it work?
Yeah, it really does. And I think like as a hardcore Seinfeld fan, those middle seasons are my favorite, 4, 5, and 6, because it's, one foot in the conversational stuff and then another foot in kind of the wacky broad comedy. Whereas, seasons 1 through 3, it's too conversational. Then 7, 8, 9, it's too wacky.
Agreed.
But this is just a wonderful episode, especially how it falls. It sort of just like sneaks in at the end of the season. You wouldn't expect it.
The more I think about how the show ended, how the series ended, I think, man, this would have actually made a really great finale episode.
Really?
Just because everybody always complains about the finale, like they weren't wooed or for whatever reason. But this one would have been a nice send-off for everyone to say, wow, I never, would have saw that coming. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Like how random it is? Or
I guess, yeah. You could say that about a lot of episodes, but this would have been a fun one.
Mm-hmm. Well, just getting into some trivia here from Andy Robbins' point of view. He wrote this episode apparently with great anguish because he thought, one, they would throw it out since it's so broad and absurd, or even worse, produce it, and then he would be totally ridiculed. Fortunately, though, it was produced, and I don't think anyone ridiculed him for this one. I'm sure there's a few fans out there that don't like the episode, but
are you serious? That there'd be? How could anyone not like this episode? This is the Jerry of episodes. Oh, and isn't that kind of a Larry David mindset to write an episode in anguish, thinking everybody's going to hate it, and it's actually one of the more beloved episodes?
Andy Robin is a solid fit for the just that neuroses. And,
yeah, it's a pleasure.
So 2 of the ideas that came directly from Andy Robin. He's apparently really bad with names, hence the girlfriend storyline this week. Also, he had this idea of an artist on his deathbed, and that led to George investing in art, expecting a spike in value following the artist's death. I don't think this is the darkest George ever gets, but it's pretty despicable.
Yeah, I have that same word to describe him in my notes. To rely on somebody's death to profit from.
Yes. And getting upset when you find out he'll be okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of artists, this episode was actually called The Artist during the production. It wasn't titled or retitled The Junior Mint until filming was completed. So I guess it was obvious after, the big hit it was with the audience. Hey, wait, I think The Junior Mint is the obvious centerpiece here.
And I like when episodes are titled after some inanimate object versus a person or, that theme of the week. Like I think of the Pez dispenser. This little tiny thing is the centerpiece of the episode, just like this little tiny mint.
One of my all-time favorite Jerry lines. Let me just finish my coffee, and then we'll go watch him cut this fat bastard up.
You have to say that with a donut in your mouth.
And kind of smirking at the same time. So I wasn't sure about this. Can you clear this up? I heard that Jerry came up with that during rehearsals as a joke, and then they wound up using it. But then I also heard, no, they wanted to use it, and they came up with it at rehearsals.
The words from his mouth, he says it was a throwaway take. So they didn't think it would use it. So that leads me to believe that he kind of ad-libbed the line, whether it's in rehearsals or, during the show night, and they just did it for the fun of it. And then it worked so well that they kept it in.
Oh, right on. Okay. Well, regardless, it opened the door for, Jerry just to be, I think, a more sarcastic, darker character, as it were. We always talk about Jerry early on being a really nice, sweet, considerate guy. He
even remarks that he was so surprised that the audience, this is violating all the rules of likability. For a character, you're saying this thing about a guy who's on his deathbed, let's go slice this fat bastard up. And the crowd just ate it up. They loved that line. So they realized they could kind of push the boundaries of where they would take the character. And it kind of gave them license to kind of explore wherever they wanted.
It's kind of like the moment when Jerry tries the name Mulva. He's testing it. Mulva. Mm-hmm. It's like this line is that test. Are we going to go in this direction? Okay, you like it. Great. Yeah. Let's keep going.
Go along.
Personally, I think Jerry goes a little too far in the selfish, kind of dark department, especially in season 9, where it's almost like he doesn't care anymore about anything. I do love this line. I love this kind of this mentality in this week's episode. Jerry, in general, I mentioned this in the past couple episodes, he seems to be having a lot of fun filming these like last 4 or 5 of season 4 for some reason.
I agree. There's always a smirk, as you said, on his face during these scenes.
So one of the coolest little bits of trivia for this week, the titular Junior Mint was actually too small to film during the operating scene. So they had to use a different candy instead. What was it, Vinny?
Yes, they used a York peppermint patty. Tom Sharonis and John O'Terry were trying to shoot this thing. They tried it with the Junior Mint, and it was just too small to catch on camera. So there's actually footage of them flipping the York peppermint patty, which is bigger, off this little ruler. And they shot it coming down, and they got it relatively quickly. And then they reversed it in slow motion to get the shot that we see in the episode.
It's amazing that, not only did Junior Mints and I guess peppermint patties, York peppermint patties look similar, relatively, but they both contain that delicious mint center.
So isn't it like Drake's coffee cake? You have the regular size and then the junior size?
Yeah, very similar. I mean, I guess the Junior Mint is really smooth, whereas the peppermint patty has those little, like bumps in it and stuff like that.
But it's bigger.
But when you see the footage of it, falling off that little piece of wood, it does look just like a Junior Mint.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think otherwise.
Fooled me.
So one more bit of trivia from the production. This has to be one of the craziest, I think, behind-the-scenes stories that we actually have, that we have access to. So regarding the name, right, the mysterious girlfriend's name, we'll just say it's Dolores, as we know. There's kind of a cool story behind this. So all of the writers were trying to figure out how to pay off the name story. And Larry Charles was the one that pitched, hey, her name should rhyme with a part of the female anatomy. And they were all trying to come up with clever names. And I guess the script had it originally as Regina. And then they changed it.
Wait, before you go on, what rhymes with Regina?
I would say, spelling-wise, it looks like vagina.
Right. So that's a horrible start to begin with.
Right. And then they changed it to Chloris during rehearsals.
That's not any better.
Right. So can you tell the story about Glenn Padnick for me?
Yeah, Glenn Padnick, executive producer, who we always comment is laughing behind the scenes. You can always hear his signature laugh. He's sitting in the audience during the taping, and one of the guys who kind of talks to the audience during the taping, he asks the audience, hey, can you guess what the name of the mystery woman is going to be? And people were throwing out all these different these suggestions, and then this one woman says Dolores, and Glenn Padnick starts scratching his head, and he says, wait a minute, that's a better name than what we came up with in our script. So he runs down and tells the writers, they change it to Dolores for the show. And then after the show, the warm-up guy, or the guy that talks to the audience, says, hey, congratulations, you guessed it. So they had this gift from above, or from the from the audience, from this woman who gave the much more appropriate and funnier name for Mulva.
When I first heard that story, I thought that was so dishonest of like Glenn Padnick and all the people at Seinfeld. But I'm like, hey, if it works, it works. So
right, and now it becomes this great story of how we got the name.
Right. We actually have a little bit of audio of Jerry delivering the Chloris line, but I think we'll save that for later in the episode when we get to that scene. And you can hear the difference. Again, editing came into play, but you'll hear the difference in audience reactions between Chloris and Dolores. It's obvious that Dolores is the better choice.
And when you hear the name Dolores, it clearly rhymes with clitoris as is its rhyming counterpart.
Same syllables,
Chloris
rhymes.
Chloris doesn't work, and I this is hindsight several years later, but how could they not come up with that in the writer's room?
Who knows?
If they had a list of each body part, and then they say, okay, what rhymes? They got Celeste and Hest and Kest, but they could not come up with Dolores.
Well, we could bring up now, like Jerry does also ad-lib the name Kitty at one point in the first take, which would work, but not as good as Dolores.
No, that's a home run.
Gosh, we got a lot of trivia this week. You heard about this whole lawsuit coming from the Miller Brewing Company in Milwaukee?
Just now I heard. I didn't know about this one.
So apparently back in 93 when this episode originally aired, some employees were talking about the episode, and a female employee was unaware which female body part rhymes with Dolores, and her supervisor crossed the line here by photocopying the dictionary page containing, I guess, the word clitoris or clitoris, and showed it to her. And as a result, he was accused of, violating her civil rights. He basically got fired on the grounds of sexual harassment. And then the guy had this big lawsuit for wrongful termination and actually won.
Good for you, Poppy.
That's a nice pull. Jerry actually brought this up. I guess how they all were just shocked at how big this show had gotten. Like it's actually affecting and, in a sense, ruining people's lives across the country.
I didn't realize that kind of sounds like a story that you would hear in today's media. How PC, I was shocked that this is from 1983. I don't know why why would he photocopy the page and then give it to her?
Well, that's a really weird thing to do. Like really creepy.
The photocopying part.
Yeah. And
he could have just said Dolores rhymes with clitoris and then be done with it, right?
Two, I have a feeling this guy, I don't have all the info in front of me. I have a feeling he was probably doing other things that got him fired. It wasn't just the photocopying of a dictionary page. There's this one phrase that Jerry had to describe this week's episode, which I loved. He claimed that they were all out of the barn at this point, running wild across the prairie. And I just love that visual. Thanks to Andy Robin, just like busting down the doors, and everyone's just like, oh my God, this is great. Then I think eventually, they get herded back into the barn for more episodes, but it's...
Got to wrangle them back in.
Yeah, it's refreshing that... you have these somewhat grounded episodes, but it's okay to just go in a really weird direction every once in a while. It's like that snowball effect. Eventually, it'll get crazier and crazier. I think it would be a lot more jarring if just one random season they do wacky episodes. There's a progression here.
Yeah,
the show evolves in a sense. But, anyways, you want to get started?
Sure.
You can't just have an adultery. You commit adultery. And you can't even commit adultery unless you already have a commitment. So you have to make the commitment before you can even think about committing it. There's no commit without the commit. Then once you commit, then you can commit the adultery. Then you can get caught, get divorced, lose your mind, and they have you committed. But, some people actually cheat on the people that they're cheating with, which is like... being in a holdup and then turning to the robber next to you and going, all right, give me everything you have, too.
This is my favorite Seinfeld analogy of all time. The turning to the robber next to you and then saying, give me everything you have, too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Kind of a weird topic, though, to open this week's episode. There isn't really any adultery at play here.
Good point. They could have used this in the Good Samaritan episode.
Yes, when George commits adultery.
No, you didn't. I did.
So first scene of the episode, we're in Jerry's apartment. Jerry is telling George about this woman he met at the supermarket, produce section to be exact.
Very provocative area. A lot of melons and shapes. Everyone's squeezing and smelling. It just happened.
So Jerry and this girl are getting together tonight, but only problem is he doesn't remember her name, but thinks it had something to do with a car or a fish, which... Do you relate to this, forgetting people's names?
Absolutely.
Me too.
It's a struggle. I find that because I'm working in various pharmacies, I meet a lot of different pharmacists and technicians, and it's so hard to keep track of all of them that and they do have name tags, but sometimes it's turned around and I can't see it. So I gotta hope that somebody else says it before. So I do identify with Andy Robin here.
Is it glaringly obvious when, let's say I forgot your name and we run into each other and you say, "Hey, Matt," and I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Hey, man.
Well, that's obvious. But if I just don't say it at all and I don't stumble, is it kind of glaringly obvious?
It depends, I guess, on your delivery. But you try to play it off. I find that when I have a mutual friend and then there's somebody that I should know their name, I'll be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I try to use my enthusiasm to mask not knowing their name.
Yeah. It should be an obvious cue if, I have a mutual friend and someone whose name I don't know, and I introduce my mutual friend to them saying, "Oh, this is Jim." Jim should then take the hint, "Oh, hi, what's your name?" Because I've been in so many situations where I introduce Jim, "Oh, hey, this is my friend Jim." And
Hi,
the
Jim,
other guy,
nice to meet you.
yeah, like they'll never say their name. It's so
I feel like that's the giveaway, though. The other person, the nameless friend, will be like, "Oh, I guess Matt didn't know my name."
Okay, well, I've done that a lot. Should probably cut back. Great throwaway line here about bananas. This feels very Larry David. I don't know if Andy Robin was channeling him or what do I buy bananas for? They're good for 2 days.
One day.
Oh, one day. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Speaking of ho-ho.
Oh my God, I forgot to tell you.
Yeah. George brings up this letter that he got from the state controller's office when he used to go to public school in Brooklyn. Every week he put 50 cents into the Lincoln Savings Bank. He hasn't touched
little book there? Little bank book?
He hasn't touched it since the 6th grade. Completely forgot about it, and the interest has accumulated to $1,900.
So we forgot to mention at the top of the show.
Oh my God.
We forgot to tell you. This episode is chock full of bloopers.
Yes.
And here's the first one. George or Jason cannot get through this long run of, "Oh my God, I forgot to tell you, I got a letter." And it takes him quite a few takes. At each one, he has a nice little reaction to forgetting his lines.
Oh my God, I forgot to tell you. I got a letter today from the state controller's office. When I was going to public school back in Brooklyn, every week I used to be,
When? When did you do
occasionally Let me start that speech again. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you, I got a letter from the state controller's office. I am a professional, I can do this. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you. I got a letter from the state controller's office today. Back when I was going to public school and... Never happens to me. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you, I got a letter from the state controller's office today. When I was going to pub...
Yeah, that's a good one. One of many bloopers we'll be playing this week. So George thinks going down to the track and putting all the money on a horse is the best way to spend it.
Oh, wait a minute. Before you say that, George says, "Interest, it's an amazing thing. You make money without doing anything." And Jerry's line, or his response to that is, "I have friends who try and base their whole life on that principle." George says, "Really? Who?" And Jerry's response is, "Nobody you know." Now, I always thought he was referring to Kramer. But
Oh, no.
is he's insulting George, right?
Yeah, it could apply to either, but I always thought the joke was George, and George is too stupid to pick up on it.
Okay, because that kind of rang true to me today when I watched it, but I've always thought it was previously Kramer, falling ass backwards into money.
Oh, that's a good point.
But George goes through painstaking events to try and avoid, collect unemployment.
Yes.
With Mrs. Sokol. So I guess you could argue George as well.
For sure. Well, George is thinking wisely, hey, I got $1,900. Let me go down to the track, put it on a horse. It's found money. He wants to parlay it, make a big score.
Meaning you want to lose it.
And then we get one of the coolest Kramer entrances of all time.
Yeah, very choreographed entrance.
Yeah, Jerry flings a box of gloves in the air. Kramer slides in and catches them right in time. It's just incredible.
Which brings us to blooper number 2. It took them a couple takes to kind of sync this all up, where either... Michael came in, he caught it, but he forgot to close the door. Or he came in, he caught it, closed the door, and then he dropped it.
Right.
Then there's even another shot or scene where Jerry throws up the gloves, the door doesn't open at all, and the gloves just fall to the ground because Michael didn't even come in.
Once again, we'll include, like we do every week, the bloopers in our show notes, so be sure to check those out. This one is a little more visual, so I probably won't play it here, but... the applause that we sometimes criticize, Larry always criticized, I think is warranted here, because if they did 4, 5, 6 takes of this and Michael finally got it, come on,
Yeah.
give him some applause.
Commend the man.
So the K-Man is staining his floors. I love it. This is so weird. It's happens at least once every season. He's always working on something in the apartment.
So the first time he wanted to do the levels carpeted with steps, right?
Yeah.
Pillows, like ancient Egypt. And now is this his second kind of remodeling or renovation?
I guess so. I guess it isn't every season, but I'm thinking of the reverse people,
Right.
the hot tub, the
Bureau
Merv Griffin show.
Merv Griffin, Bureau of Drawers.
Yes. So there's a lot of, Kramer's always working on something. But this time he's staining his floors, doesn't want to get his hands dirty, but he's not stopping there, though. He's buying fake wood wallpaper, surrounding himself in wood, like a log cabin.
Because he needs wood around him. Wood, Matt. Wood.
Wood is good. That Kramer-ism is like turned up to 11.
Yeah, it's like a swagger in his delivery.
So Kramer heads over to start the staining while George prepares, this is pretty random, to watch Home Alone. This is after he saw Home Alone 2, though. He hated that one because he was lost, never saw the first one.
I would argue you don't need to see the first one to enjoy the second one, which is an excellent sequel. But the first one is a wonderful movie, which you should see anyway.
Yeah, well, the story beats are pretty much the same.
Yeah, excellent Christmas movie, both of them.
Yeah.
In our Christmas rotation, correct? Every year.
I'd say those two, Christmas Vacation.
Jingle All the Way.
Oh, yeah, that's a good movie. I'm sorry, good, bad movie. Muppet Christmas Carol. I'm a big fan of that one. And, Silent Night, Deadly Night. That's a really good horror movie.
Oh.
If anyone's in the mood. But anyways, Kramer slides back in and criticizes the gloves that Jerry bought. They're for dishwashing. There's no fine touch.
You said gloves. Oh, by the way, did you notice George put a VHS tape into the VCR?
Why didn't he use a DVD?
Why didn't he stream it on Hulu? Who from Hulu?
So Elaine arrives, and applause is totally unacceptable.
Hey, boyzos.
Yeah, it's like a variety hour. Like, look at the cameo this week.
On the commentary, Jerry commented how everyone gets this big applause. Every single character, when they make their entrance, gets this applause.
This is I think the second time, and maybe the last time Elaine gets applause. First time was in the the wallet
When she came back from Europe.
Yeah, which is wonderful. That you feel the love in the air.
Yeah, and it was a nice reveal because you thought it was Federal Express.
But this one,
oh, she's adorable. You enjoy that.
Yeah.
Did you also notice it looked like she's wearing her Botticelli's.
Oh, I didn't check.
It's the black shoes with the white on top, right?
Oh, if that would be them then.
Now I thought she gave those to Gail Cunningham, and those were the last ones they had.
Let me just write that down when we talk to Andy Robin.
Okay, thank you.
Ask him. So before they head out to play some racquetball, Elaine tells the gang about this guy she liked, who's an artist. He, I guess, specializes in triangles. The reason they never dated, though, is because he was just a little too
artsy,
fat.
Oh,
fat, starving artist. He's in the hospital having surgery on his spleen, and she feels like they should, or she should visit them. It'll only take 5 minutes. She wants Jerry and Kramer to come along. Specifically, though, she wants Jerry to come into the room with her and pretend to be her boyfriend because she doesn't want Roy to think that she's interested.
Well, Jerry believes he can do that. He's played that role before to some critical acclaim.
Oh, right. I forgot.
So as they leave, George is staying to watch Home Alone because if he's out, if he's out of the house, he's in Jerry's apartment. At least he's doing something.
Yeah.
But here's where another blooper comes into play. They try to get Jerry tries to get his jacket off the hook, and that thing will just not budge. It's caught. So he forgets about it. And the crowd, the audience by this point is already in on the gaff. Then Elaine or Julia tries to grab it as well. She can't get it off. She finally gets it off. But if you look in the actual episode, they cut the scene prior to Jerry even reaching for the jacket.
Right.
But it's the same take. It's the same shot they used. But
he was trying to do one of those smooth, the door's closing, I'll reach my arm through the space, pull it real quick, like an Indiana Jones hat moment or something.
It just didn't happen.
Did not happen. So we're at the hospital. Well, one of many hospital scenes. You mentioned Jerry's commentary on the DVD, which is wonderful. There are so many hospital scenes on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
One could argue that you have Monk's, the apartment. I'd argue are hospitals the next popular thing? I guess George's apartment, Elaine's apartment.
Yeah, but it's a very popular location.
Yeah,
for
thematically
scenes to take place.
Mm-hmm. Especially in a comedy, I guess. But
yeah.
Jerry and Elaine enter Roy's hospital room, and she is shocked. He looks so, he's lost some weight.
A lot of weight.
Looks terrific. Yeah, so they're already flirting right out of the gate. Jerry even looks confused and kind of uncomfortable.
And as Elaine is gushing over Roy and this newfound lost weight, Jerry, he remembers this deal they conceived. Hey, I'm the boyfriend.
Yeah.
He puts his arm around Elaine, and she,
like shrugs him off.
Yeah.
So we jump over to Kramer, meanwhile, looking around the hospital, the hallways for gloves on a cart, opens the door. Kind of cliche comedy, a woman screams, he closes it, and then he opens another door.
The mother lode.
Yes.
It works, though. I like that joke.
Oh, yeah, totally. And what episode was it? The handicap? Yeah, I think it was the handicap spot just last week. How they were, they're all going in on a gift for the Drake. That reminds me of, was it season 8 or 9 with Joe Mayo, how they all go in on the chair, the
Correct.
massage chair.
Yes.
And how, Kramer's like, who's this Joe Mayo? I always confuse those subplots. Mm-hmm. This one, I'm always expecting the Pigman to show up.
I thought that's where you were going with this.
Yeah, but it just
Good
visually, Kramer going into random rooms in a hospital kind of has the same flavor.
You'll also hear over the loudspeaker a Dr. Wittenberg to answer a call. This is a reference to Castle Rock executive Jess Wittenberg. I kind of like how they write in writers or executives. They'll use their name as a little tribute throughout the series.
Absolutely. That was a good catch. So across town, George is entranced, eating popcorn, shoveling in his mouth, and watching Home Alone.
And can we talk about that music or the sound effects you hear? I know you have to purchase the rights to be able to use the actual footage or audio from a movie, but damn, it sounds so just manufactured. It always irked me that boing, blang, blang.
That is not Home Alone.
No, it is not Home Alone.
It's a John Williams soundtrack. Come on. Yeah, that's a just bizarre moment. George's storyline this episode is you're getting ahead of ourselves. A little weak, but it's like they had nothing else to do with him, I guess.
No, I agree with you because this is a very Elaine-centric episode, which is why I really enjoy it.
Funny you say Elaine. I think this is a pure Kramer Jerry episode.
Really? I see Elaine.
Really? Huh.
Well, her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend is the one having the surgery. That's the reason the Junior Mint's going in. You know what I mean? She's the catalyst here.
Well, they're the ones that dropped the Junior Mint, though.
Yeah, but there would be no Junior Mint if it wasn't for this surgery.
Well, you can't argue that.
She's getting a lot of her screen time and joke. She's getting a lot of screen time as well as some nice jokes. And I don't know. This feels very Elaine when I think of this episode.
All right.
I could be biased here.
Maybe we can talk about it more in the end. Maybe our opinions will change. But back at the hospital, Elaine, the star of this week's episode, and Elaine is sitting in the bed with Roy, going on about how much bigger he used to be. And I love how Jerry is framed perfectly between the two, just sitting in the background, looking back and forth. No purpose to be there. Turns out the illness, though, didn't cause the weight loss. It was Elaine. After she stopped seeing Roy, he was devastated and couldn't eat for weeks.
She gave him a nice get out, though.
Yes.
To which he kind of clutches his chest. And the look of horror on Jerry's face in the background says it all.
Well, at this point, though, Jerry gets over it, and he tries out that new yo-yo that he mentioned in last week's episode.
If there was ever a scene or an image of Jerry as a 12-year-old, this is it.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good time to bring up Roy Cornick, the fat starving artist. He's played by actor Sherman Howard, who's been in lots of things. General Hospital, Dallas. He was in this horror movie, Day of the Dead. And Matt, can you touch on that a little bit more for me?
Yeah, so one of our listeners, Sergio Mendoza, reached out and wanted to make sure that we brought up Sherman Howard as Bub, the zombie from Day of the Dead. This is the third zombie flick in Romero's film series, and he is definitely the centerpiece of that movie. He has this amazing performance. Like, the premise is basically, you know, it's the end of the world and zombies have taken over, but this underground society trying to survive. The doctor there is studying zombies and seeing if they can learn and grow and maybe become normal again. Bub is this pet project of his who, you know, keeps behind glass, and he gives them different props, different devices to, you know, learn, like a Walkman. I think Bub learns how to shoot, you know, later in the movie. And he's just a really, really cool character. However, though, interesting, this guy Sergio who messaged us, he said that his name was actually Howard Sherman in Day of the Dead. And I don't know if that was a mistake on that production team, or maybe he switched it around later as an actor. But Sherman Howard Sherman, it's the same guy. And we'll include a clip in our show notes to see his performance. It's pretty cool.
Interesting. Yeah, he was born Howard Lee Sherman, but on IMDb he goes by Sherman Howard.
Yep, switched it around, I guess.
Dick York, Dick Sargent, Sergeant York. Wow, that's weird. Anyway, Sherman Howard Sherman, was also in Casualties of War. He was in Superboy. He played Lex Luthor. He was in The Stand. He was in Melrose Place for 2 episodes. Mad About You for 2 episodes. And he did lots of voice work as well. He was on the Jumanji TV show, the Men in Black TV series, Superman, Batman Beyond, Red Dead Redemption, the video game. And he was in Star Wars The Old Republic video game as well.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like we get one of those actors every, you know, couple of weeks. That's just, you know, they had a lot of TV spots back in the day, but they stick mainly with voice acting.
He was also on an episode of Nightingale's TV show, and just keep that in mind because I'm going to bring that up later.
Oh, okay, right. Well, I got a clip here that we can enjoy.
Now listen, Roy, tell me something. When are you getting out of here?
Next Thursday?
Okay, I tell you what. How about on Friday I take you out for a big meal because you are getting too thin.
Honey? Aren't we going to the Poconos next Friday?
No, that's the week after.
Oh, I believe it's next week.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not.
Shut up.
Pay dirt.
Roy, this is Kramer. He's one of our friends.
How do you do?
Yeah, I do great.
Man, I wish somebody would set me up for that line when I'm introduced to them to ask me how do I do versus, oh, nice to meet you. Because I would love to say I do great, and it's never happened. One day.
Another, like, just pure Kramer moment, you know?
Yeah.
I love that. It's going backwards here. When Kramer enters the room with the gloves, did you catch Jerry's expression?
I did
He
not.
looks so happy to see Kramer. Like,
Aw.
he's just in awe. And I don't know if that's Jerry breaking character or what he was going for there, but it really...
Jerry's his buddy.
Yeah, I guess. And then, of course, going back to the main joke here, I love it whenever Jerry is trying to... I mean, is he screwing Elaine over, or is it just his ego getting in the way?
I think it's 90-10. But it's, you know, I feel like it's more George and Jerry, or George and Elaine giving Jerry the hard time, I guess. Actually, no. I don't know. It seems rare that Jerry gets an opportunity to kind of turn the screws on Elaine.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice that he kind of gets a little bit... that's one for his side.
It always seems, I mean, let's say in addition to him being offended, you know, I'm supposed to be your boyfriend and you're embarrassing me here. Jerry and Elaine always like to go back and forth a little bit, you know, just because of their history together. And
Yeah.
It always goes back to that theme a little bit of, you know, seeing the other one flirt, seeing the other one ask someone out.
Exactly, yeah.
It's got to stick in their crotch just a little bit.
He's not going to make it easy for her.
No. That thematically, that joke reminds me a lot of the Wigmaster when Jerry's out with, he was like, how do you know we're not together?
Yeah. Well, it's very emasculating.
So good old Dr. Siegel enters, and before he gets to talk to his patient, Jerry gets his attention. Hey, Doc. Spins the yo-yo around. I just learned that.
And there's a pause and a moment of just uncertainty by the doctor. And then he just... he kind of chuckles, and then he goes off and talks to Roy. Like, he doesn't know how to respond to what he just saw.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice.
Yeah, he asks Roy if he has any questions about tomorrow's operation, but of course, Kramer jumps in and wants to know, wants to hear what the doctor knows about interabdominal retractors.
Are you asking because you saw 2020 last night?
I sure am. So it turns out the report was just about one very specific type of retractor, which won't be used in Roy's procedure.
But you will use a retractor.
Yes, we have to. Mm-hmm. Again, old school Kramer. That he knows everything, kind of a conspiracy nut. He's the expert.
At this point in the script, it says that Jerry is looking at a coffee table book entitled Triangle Art, The Three Sides of Roy Cordick.
Oh, interesting. That would have been... Oh, they probably replaced it. I never noticed this in the past. The triangle statues in the background.
Yeah, I didn't notice that either. I always thought he did paintings of triangles.
Me
and I believe
too.
Isn't there an episode where George does have triangles in his apartment?
Okay, something else I wanted to ask you. I know there's some triangle art in George's apartment in later seasons.
Yeah.
Now that I see the statues, it might be a statue, but it could be a painting as well. We did bring up in a previous episode, either with Nina in the letter, or I don't know who it was, there was a painting of triangles, and we brought up Roy, I know, making that connection, but maybe he's just like a sculpture kind of guy.
Okay. And this whole triangle business is very much Larry David, because he just despises, I think, triangle art. As we'll come to see in Curb Your Enthusiasm as well, in the Shaq episode. He likes to make fun of the artist known for his triangles.
Nice. So Dr. Siegel, this is pretty absurd, invites Jerry and Kramer to accompany other students who will be watching the operation from a viewing gallery. Jerry's unsure, but Kramer's down. Guts will be everywhere. They're going to saw through bone, get to see what's inside bone.
That's true.
That noise that Michael does, sawing through bone... That's like a Michael Winslow moment.
It really is.
So realistic and accurate.
That's one of those moments where you imagine he was in the back, kind of by himself, had his eyes closed, and he was going through possibilities of how he could emulate that sound.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Siegel is played by actor Victor Rader Wexler. So he plays Dr. Siegel in The Junior Mint, and then he comes back to play a doctor in each final episode of season 7, 8, and 9. I never realized he came back for each finale. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of cool how each one contains him. And then, season 7 and 8, they both end in a hospital. But he was in The Invitations as a doctor. He was in The Summer of George as a doctor. And then in the finale, he comes back and he plays Dr. Wexler.
Yes.
So
I don't know what's going on there.
He plays himself. Is he a double dipper? He's not a double dipper. But
well, to be fair, I wonder if did they ever mention him by name in this week's episode, or is it just a credit?
No, they mention him as Dr. Siegel.
They do. Okay, yeah. That's a weird change. Then I don't know why.
Forget that. But this guy's very, just like we've had in the past with certain actors, kind of assuming the same role throughout their career. This guy's played a doctor quite often, and he does really nail the doctor role. But he played a doctor in Friends. He played a doctor on the Michael Richards Show. He was also in Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. He was in Dr. Dolittle, too. He played a funeral director in It's Like You Know with Peter Millman's show. And he was in Minority Report. He as well did voice work on the Hobbit video game, a 007 James Bond video game, and the Lord of the Rings video games. He was also known for playing Stan in several episodes of Everybody Loves Raymond. And then he played Mr. Kaufman and or Mr. Kaplan in The King of Queens.
Gosh. Definitely made an impression for all these other sitcoms to give him work.
Just like we talk about Len Lesser kind of getting plucked from Seinfeld and then being utilized in other shows, as well as Jerry Stiller. We have Victor Rader Wexler. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So we cut over to Jerry's apartment, and Home Alone is finishing up. George is bawling his eyes out as Jerry walks through the door. Turns out the old man got to him.
All right, pull yourself together.
Jerry catches him up on a lane, and Triangle Boy, how close they're getting. George claims it's Clara Nightingale syndrome.
You mean Florence Nightingale?
What'd I say, Clara?
You must have met Clara Barton.
Clara Barton, what'd she do?
I'm not sure, but I think she was nice.
Love these little asides, from the banana comment to this thing. There's something about Susan B. Anthony here. he'd have a problem with her.
Yeah, I think it would.
It turns out Elaine wants Jerry to buy some of Roy's art, but he's not going to. Suggests George should, since he's got $1,900, but of course, George turns it down. The mystery woman, however, that Jerry met at the supermarket is coming over, and Jerry claims that he has ways to find out her name without asking directly. And just a heads up, this scene will go from Jerry's apartment to Monk's the next day.
I remember when I was a kid growing up, kids would make fun of my name like you wouldn't believe. Jerry Dingleberry, and sign smelled.
Sign smell?
Yeah. What about you? Did people make fun of your name?
Are you kidding? They were merciless. What do you expect when your name rhymes with a part of the female anatomy? Of course, not everybody can be as sweet as you are. Oh, Jerry.
Oh, you.
Now let's try breast. Celeste. Kest.
No.
Rest. Sest. Hest.
Hest? It's not a name.
What? You should have just asked her.
I know I should have asked her.
Well, what are you going to do now?
I don't know. I can't ask her now. I've already made out with her. Once you make out with a woman, you can't ask her name.
Aretha.
No.
Bovary.
All right, that's enough.
So, a couple things. I'm surprised Dingleberry made it in there. I didn't know what that was for the longest time.
I don't think most people know what a dingleberry is.
Feel free to Google it at your leisure.
Or don't.
Maybe not at work, though. That was one thing. And then I didn't realize this. There was another scene that was filmed to precede the one at Jerry's apartment. And it was going to have Jerry going over to Mystery Woman's apartment and randomly trying buzzers until he found her, which I think is actually a really good strategy to find her. But that was cut.
Yeah, there was a deleted scene of it on the DVD, and it's interesting. It works a bit unnecessary, but you would think of all the ways Jerry tries to find out her name, that one makes sense. It's a little extra effort, but
or unless it's like a Kessler Kramer kind of thing where it's the wrong name on the buzzer.
It's a good
See point. DVD menu for that joke. And that brings us to Mystery Woman, who's played by Susan Walters, although she'll always be Mulva to us, I think. She plays in The Junior Mint as well as The Foundation. She comes back and reprises the role as Dolores. She was in a lot of TV shows with kind of long stints. She was in Hotel. She was in this show Nightingales, as I mentioned earlier, for 13 episodes. And in one episode, she starred alongside Sherman Howard. So they worked together. She was in Dear John, The Big Easy, Melrose Place for 7 episodes, The War Next Door, Point Pleasant, The Young and the Restless, The Vampire Diaries, Reckless, and then just recently the new Teen Wolf reboot.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, she's interesting. I don't know where I fall on her because she's very pleasant, very nice to Jerry. But it's funny, you remember the name Mulva more than you remember the character, if that makes sense.
Oh, really? I disagree. I remember her vividly.
You do?
She has really piercing eyes, and when you look at her headshots on IMDb, like she looks through you. It's amazing. But I feel bad for her because this is a relationship that maybe could have been something with Jerry had he remembered her name.
Yeah.
She was really falling for him.
So we're at Monk's as that clip ended, and get those great names, Aretha, Bovary.
I think Aretha would have been a good choice as well.
Yeah, that could work.
But we both have Arethas, so.
No, I think Dolores might be the best one, right? Anyways, George goes on to tell Jerry, hey, just go through her purse, find a credit card or driver's license when she goes to the bathroom, which is a pretty good idea, probably the best idea. Kramer stops by. Turns out he had a date to go with him to the surgery.
She stood him up.
Now, does he ever say she? I think he just says my date, which got me wondering, could you ever use the term date if it's, a friend or someone you're not like interested in?
Unless it's referred to as a play date, then I would think no.
All right, because I was thinking this could be something that Bob Sacamano would go to, or Lomez.
Corky Ramirez.
Corky
no,
Ramirez.
I don't think. No, I think it was a girl date, even though it wasn't implied.
I forgot, though, too. Bob Sacamano did have that hernia operation, so maybe he doesn't like hospitals anymore.
There you go. His name is Bob. Well, you mentioned Jerry going through Dolores's bag. He does that again when he rifles through Manhand's bag for another picture of her, and that also gets him into trouble.
Yeah, I have that. No, I was going to save that for the scene, but I'm glad you got it. Nice work. It's weird. You don't want to say they're repeating jokes, because I don't get that vibe at all, but it's just very similar situations. Very similar.
Yeah.
So Kramer tries to invite the guys, and quick to tell George, hey, don't ruin what is it, splenectomy actually is.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Kramer is treating this whole operation like it's a movie or a TV show. And this is, of course, when we get the name Mulva as a suggestion for the woman's name, which is, as you put it, Vinny, I think much more memorable than Dolores.
Yeah.
Doesn't make as much sense, but it works.
Yeah, Jerry said that was the name that kind of stuck with the audiences.
Mm-hmm. And then we get one of the all-time best Jerry quotes.
Come on, you want to go?
All right. Just let me finish my coffee. I'm gonna watch him go slice his fat bastard up.
I think you can even see Jason laughing a little bit.
You see the shoulders kind of go up and down.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it even, I think, more enjoyable.
So we're at the hospital, next scene in the operating room, and what a great, it's so absurd, but what a wonderful visual, like Jerry and Kramer with the little, they're not hairnets, what are they called?
They're in scrubs, and they have all the,
little caps.
The caps.
Yes. Right in the front row, Kramer's enjoying his junior mints.
Because food is allowed in the operating room. And an open viewing area to look directly on top of the patient.
I mean, these operating rooms did exist at one point, right? Like in the 1800s?
So. Yeah.
It seems
these
visually
surgical
familiar.
Galleries.
Yeah, right. The noises coming from Kramer, the scene, are incredible.
Yeah.
Like how the doctors are blocking the incision or the opening.
Mm-hmm. I can't see.
We get to one of the classic moments. Jerry is offered a Junior Mint. He refuses, pushes the hand away. Junior Mint goes flying up into the air, holds for a moment, and boop, 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 boop. Squish. Thing is, no one notices, and as this happens, the guys are just left sitting there like a couple of dopes.
They they both look around to see if anybody noticed, and then they look at each other, and Jerry mouths to Kramer, "Did it go in?" Yeah.
Oh man, we always talk about pairings, certain characters. Kramer and Jerry together, it's so wonderful.
Yeah, and this in particular is iconic. This particular scene.
Yes, absolutely. So we get an act break. Come back to Jerry's apartment. Jerry, once again, catching George up on the Junior Mint incident, and no one noticing it because it's a little mint.
It's a Junior Mint.
So Roy got sewn up with the Junior Mint inside, and George figures, hey, people eat them all the time. It probably won't hurt them. Jerry disagrees, of course. When you first, you're much smarter than I am, Vinny. When you first saw this episode, did you think George's argument was valid?
No.
Okay. Neither did I.
I don't know what would be the consequences of a mint kind of just riding alongside the organs versus being inside of them.
I would think anything foreign in there is a risk of infection, right?
But Dr. Siegel has no medical evidence to back him up on why Roy made it out of the surgery. But anyway.
Yes. I love arguments like that. Like, I have no medical evidence, or that dumb expression, take this with a grain of salt. It's like, then don't say it.
Having said that.
Yeah, Kramer stops by to talk about his wood wallpaper, but Jerry has other things on his mind.
Why'd you force that mint on me? I told you I didn't want the mint.
What? I didn't believe you.
How could you not believe me?
Well, who's going to turn down a Junior Mint? It's chocolate, it's peppermint. It's delicious. That's true.
It's very refreshing.
Well, just don't say anything about this to Elaine.
Prognosis negative.
Prognosis negative.
He's not doing well. The doctors don't know what it is. They're baffled.
Oh, my God.
Just my luck, you know? Just when he's getting thin and attractive. You know, Jerry, you should buy some of his art. That would really lift his spirits.
It's that bleak? You know, if the guy dies, the art could really be worth something.
We gotta confess.
Really?
Yes.
We could be tried for murder.
I can't have this on my conscience. We're like Leopold and Loeb.
You're not going to say anything. You got that?
I'm telling you, you can't stop me.
You're not.
So when Kramer says, who's going to turn down a Junior Mint? Chocolate peppermint, delicious. Jerry says, that's true. There's a blooper where Jerry breaks the fourth wall and looks directly into the camera to say, that's true. And then Michael will also look off camera and kind of wink and then say it's very refreshing, as if they're doing this ad for Junior Mint. Very, very refreshing blooper.
They pretty much are doing an ad this entire episode, right?
Yeah. I would argue we like to get our Junior Mints when we go to the movies. That's kind of a staple.
One of the best candies to put with popcorn.
I don't agree with that, but I like them separate.
Get one Junior Mint, a couple of kernels of popcorn, throw it back.
You're crazy.
Also interesting to note, Elaine dropping prognosis negative.
That's correct. That was the movie from The Dog that Jerry, George, and Elaine were attempting to see, but Idiot Farfel got in the way. And that's the name of Larry David's screenplay.
Unproduced screenplay, right?
Unproduced. I'd love to get my hands on that and see what that's about.
Jerry, again, a pure visual thing, but look at Jerry's face when he says prognosis negative.
Yeah.
There's that smirk, man. He's fighting it. You can tell.
I also couldn't help but think when Elaine says, you know, Jerry, you should buy some of his art. That would really lift his spirits. For some reason, I'm thinking Elaine's going to say that would buoy his spirits. You mean Boyd. What did I say?
Hand me the buoys. So, we get everything set up here. Jerry and Kramer are nervous. George is thinking, hey, if the guy dies, art will be worth something. So as Elaine comes out of the bathroom, George asks her to put him down for $1,900 worth of art.
That's horrible. I think this would be one of the most awful things George has ever conjured up.
Yeah. In a sense, no one's really getting hurt here.
But he's betting on this guy dying in order to make a profit. That's
Yeah, when it comes to karma here, George is not looking good. So we're at Jerry's apartment still, but it's later on, and he's getting a massage. Hey, a massage.
He likes his massages.
Yeah, he couldn't get it from, or he won't be able to get it from, is it Joni?
Jody.
Jody.
And then isn't there another girlfriend where he says, oh, I've been waiting a while for this? I think, it's Jane, the phone sex girl from...
oh, you're right, yes.
Yeah.
From Twister.
Thank you. Jamie Gertz.
So he's getting a massage from, what's her name, Mulva.
Did you do that on purpose? I don't...
Mulva. That expression and delivery is just wonderful. Obviously not her name, and Jerry tries to recover, claiming his aunt is named Mulva. She's a masseuse, and so let's just call her Mulva. Mulva runs to the bathroom, and this is Jerry's opportunity. Hey, let me check her purse, not realizing that she's turned back, and she's like, what are you doing? Hey, I'm looking for a mint.
Oh, I have Junior Mints.
No!
Right after that line's delivered, you can hear Larry David chuckle.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what I might have to do? I'll play that. I was going to go to a clip here real quick. I'll play that Junior Mint part. Hopefully we'll hear that laugh.
Oh, I have Junior Mints.
No, thank you.
Any news?
No news. You better get out of here. Oh, no, wait a second. I don't know what the name of this woman in the bathroom. So when she comes out, you introduce yourself, and then she'll be forced to say her name.
10-4.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
Hello, I'm Kramer.
Nice to meet you.
See you later.
Well, I've better get going. I don't want to be late for the play.
Oh, okay.
You know, my cousin knows the producer. I may get to go backstage and meet Olympia Dukakis.
Oh, hey, there's a name you don't forget.
Bye, Jerry.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Hi, I'm George.
Oh, nice to meet you, George.
Yeah, I gave it a shot.
Jerry's not getting any help from his friends to figure out this name.
George is smart enough, though, to be like, hey, I gave it a shot.
Yeah, but he says that right when she's within earshot. She's like 2 feet out the door. And he says, hey, I gave it a shot.
Once you're out that doorway, you can't hear anything. The Kramer moment, though, reminds me a lot of the Kiss Hello with Wendy. They're like, oh, let's bring Kramer over. He'll say something, about her hair, but he does just the opposite. And
yeah,
kind of same thing in this situation. Same blocking.
Good point.
And whatnot. Also, when George walks in, he's holding a Pretty Woman VHS tape.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Worlds are about to collide when he pops that tape into the VCR.
And that is the tape he puts in. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there when he finds out a guy that looks just like him is in the movie. So anyways, he's rented those movies, plops down to watch them, very happy with his Triangle art purchase. Jerry's conscience, however, is weighing on him and wants to call the hospital, but George gets a little nervous, of course. He has $1,900 invested in this guy's death.
You know, Jerry says, I want to speak to Dr. Siegel. It's about Roy Cordick's condition. And Jerry hears the good news. Oh, that's fantastic. George says this line that always sticks out to me. He goes, he didn't get better, did he? I don't know what to say, but it's like etched in my brain. And yet again, selfish George. Where's the luck? Where's the luck that this guy didn't keel over? No luck. $1,900 down the drain.
Down the drain, yep.
You deserve it, George Costanza.
So we cut over to the hospital. Roy is chowing down on some spaghetti. And, hey, thanks, George, for buying his art. That's what inspired him to get better, so...
Oh, that's insulting to the doctor, because Dr. Siegel comes in and...
Well, Dr. Siegel is not a professional.
Yeah.
based on what he says later.
No, but it's insulting to the doctor because he's like, there's the guy that saved my life. And he's pointing to George, not at the doctor who did the surgery.
That's true.
Anyway.
So, George, hey, I look forward to many years of looking at the triangles. And George leaves to go outside, actually. And this is when Roy gives him that big saucy kiss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can see there's little remnants of spaghetti sauce on George's face afterward. Here is another classic blooper where they do this take and Roy pulls in George for the kiss, but it's pulled in with such vigor that their lips kind of almost line up.
Well, I'll wait for you kids outside.
Hey, George.
Oh, yeah. That's great. Roy just kissed me on the mouth.
This hospital scene, I think they had a lot of difficulty filming, right?
Yeah, this was probably the most synonymous for the bloopers, I think, right?
Yeah. They had a lot of trouble getting through it all. We have some more coming up. I wanted to mention, though, as George leaves the room, it's interesting that the doctor that will tell him that his fiance died and, that you might walk again, he misses him. Like, they never share a scene together, really.
Good point. And it's funny, in subsequent episodes with Dr. Siegel / Wexler, every time he enters, the gang kind of looks at each other as if to say, is that the same doctor from before?
Yeah. So Dr. Siegel comes in and gives this questionable monologue about, hey, there are other factors in play. I have no medical evidence to back this up. This is where I think all of his credibility falls apart.
Yeah.
But something happened to stave off the infection, something beyond science, perhaps something from above.
Mint?
Those can be very refreshing.
At this point during filming, Julia could not keep it together. She had the giggles, and she was just laughing. And Michael, if you look in the back, Michael is trying to get this mint line out. And he is actually getting to the point of anger, and he's saying, I have a line, if we could just get to it.
I had a line, if we could just get to it.
We noticed in the bloopers for each season, and Michael has admitted this in interviews, especially on that Comedians in Cars episode he did. Mm-hmm. He takes this acting very seriously, and if he ever breaks, it's always after, for the most part, it's always after other people have ruined the take. Mm-hmm. And every once in a while, he gets this, I don't know, gets a little angry at his co-stars, and he either is deadpan serious or he's kind of jokey, but there's like this subtext of anger.
Yeah. And he even will like kind of put his hands around Julia as if to say, he almost as if to shake her and say, hey, you know, this is serious. And he'll even kind of do like a Frank Costanza on a George forehead move onto Jerry as well, but of course in a soft manner. You can still tell there's frustration there.
The worst is in the Slicer episode where they're putting the paperclip in the socket in the holes, mm-hmm. and they can't get through it. And Michael smacks Julia, not like he playfully like
it's as
touches,
soft as you can possibly smack a woman.
But that's lovely.
Like take that out.
But the gesture of like even suggesting it, mm-hmm. She gets mad. I think they're joking, they're laughing.
She hits him back, and then she knees him in the balls.
Yeah. So Roy really starts digging into his spaghetti, and
so Elaine, when are we going out for our big dinner on Friday?
It's so revolting. Like, oh my god, the noises.
He's like George chowing down on that spaghetti in the fix-up.
That's a good point. That's nice. That's a nice visual. Elaine tries to use a lifeline here and claims she's going to the Poconos with Jerry.
I don't think so.
Please, can we go?
We'll see. Or I'll think about
it. Next scene, we're at Jerry's apartment, appropriately. Jerry and Mulva are hanging out. She's telling him about the play and how she got... Oh, I don't know if we mentioned this. It might have been in the Climp.
Climpies?
In the clip, she got Olympia Dukakis' autograph.
Hey, there's a name you don't forget.
Yes. That Klimt line, I was watching Back to School recently, and there's that one moment where, Rodney doesn't really have a good relationship with his wife. She's sleeping with a lot of other people, and a guest is looking at a painting done by Klimt, and he's like, oh, we were just, observing your wife's Klimt. He's like, you too. She's showing it to everybody.
I thought you were talking about Klimpies from Arrested Development.
No, welcome to Klimpies.
Plater platter.
I don't understand the question. I will not answer it. So, anyways, she got Olympia Dukakis' autograph, and this prompts Jerry to ask to see it.
I really think I'm falling for you, Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, well, I really think I'm falling for you, Joseph Puglia.
I had it autographed from my uncle.
Yeah, I know.
You don't know my name, do you?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It rhymes with a female body part.
What is it?
Mulva? Gipple? Loyola? Oh! Dolores!
Playing a lot of clips this week. Apologies if that's not your thing, but this might be an appropriate time to play the original take of Chloris that they tried at first before Glenn Padnick heard a woman suggest a much better name. So here we go.
Chloris! Chloris! Kitty?
It's a little rough, isn't it?
Yeah, and just you hear the name Chloris, it does not hit at all.
Mm-mm. A bit
nor
awkward.
does Regina.
Or Kitty. Oh, Kitty actually gets a laugh.
Yeah, but it's no Dolores. I really like how Glenn Padnick, as well as Rick Ludwin and all these other guys surrounding the show, they really just cared about the show, it seems. So everybody was pitching in to make the show as funny as possible, and here's another example of that.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a team effort, a show like this. I mean, Larry and Jerry appropriately get most of the credit. A lot of those stories, I want to hear more of those from people like Glenn Padnick, or, just people who had an idea or a suggestion that made it to the final version. It's always really interesting to hear.
I also want to add that the story originally ended at the coffee shop with George gloating to Jerry that he was able to sell Roy's worthless art to Kramer for $100. And then Kramer entered holding a newspaper showing that Roy's art had suddenly, there had been an increase in demand for his triangles. And then Kramer complains that he sold it too soon. He only got $12,000 for the triangles. So that would have been that nice karma that we talked about earlier, coming back to get George.
Yeah, that's, it's funny too. That seems like unnecessary. I think it's good enough that George missed out on the 1900.
It's one of those things where I like hearing about where their mind was going, where they were thinking. But George's storyline works well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rah.
Did I say rat?
You said rah.
Oh. Okay. Stand up?
Yeah.
At ages 0 through 10, candy is your life. There's nothing else. Family, friends, school, they're only obstacles in the way of getting more candy. And you have your favorite candies that you love. Ones, I love those, I hate those. I hate those, I love those. And only a 7-year-old kid can actually taste a difference between like a red M&M and a light brown M&M. That's two totally different things when you're 7-year-old. Well, your red, it's more of a main course M&M. But the brown, it's a more of a mellower flavor. It's an after-dinner M&M, really.
This one is another one of Jerry's best bits when he talks about candy. This one is on his album as well. And actually, there's more on the album. Get candy, get candy, get candy. But this is
that I remember. I remember that get candy, get candy.
Mm-hmm. The M&M bit is not, with the red versus the brown. That's more of an after-dinner M&M. That's not on there.
Yeah, this stand-up falls a little flat for me, at least compared to the rest of the episode.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it could be a little stronger, or at least a little more, astute kind of observation.
Had they included the stand-up from his album, it would have been a home run.
Mm-hmm, sure. Ratings?
So, what do you think?
This is one of those episodes, Vinny, where I don't think we're going to disagree on much.
Nope.
This is one of the best episodes of season 4.
Yep.
I don't know where it ranks. We'll figure out rankings at some other point, but it's probably in my top 30, I would say.
Top 30?
Yeah.
This is a great episode.
Well, that 30 out of 180?
30, that's I can't believe you can squeeze 30 other episodes in front of this. Or 29, I should say.
Oh, well, I think, when you, again, if we get to ranking, well, first of all, we love all the episodes, but if you're in like the top half, those are obviously really good episodes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But this episode definitely is one of the highlights of this season, without a doubt. And it's a pretty classic one to boot. Not only the Junior Mint scene, but the girlfriend's name, Mulva. Probably the two standout moments from this episode.
Mm-hmm. I love this episode. I thought it was a perfect episode, actually, from start to finish. And as I said earlier, this one felt very Elaine-centric to me. Granted, Jerry and Kramer with the iconic Junior Mint scene in the operating room, that's probably what people take away. But it was nice that Elaine's storyline was kind of the one that kind of stood out, other than the Junior Mint. So I kind of like that. I did like both characters of Roy and Mulva. I thought they were nice additions this week. And as well as Dr. Siegel. It was nice to see his face for the first time. Mm-hmm. But every scene, I also noticed a lot of the setup in this episode took place at Jerry's apartment, and there was a really long scene with everybody coming to Jerry's apartment, whereas in the past couple weeks we've seen a lot of quick cuts to various locales. Yeah,
we're in Jerry's apartment a lot, and I was, I write down scene numbers, and I think we only got 9 scenes this week.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the scenes are kind of going back to the earlier episodes where they're a lot longer. There's a lot more going on. It's not those, as we'll see definitely in 8 and 9, just quick, sometimes just 3 lines in one scene and then you're off to another scene.
But the flow of this episode felt like it paced really well and it went by fast. I just really enjoyed it from start to finish.
The only thing that felt a little off to me was the George storyline. I love the whole Home Alone thing. I think that's really funny. And it's typical George, wanting to buy art from a guy who is probably going to die or could die.
Betting on the fact that he's going to die.
Yeah. That feels very right to the character, but it just doesn't really... It doesn't feel as balanced as Jerry and Kramer do this week. And I know you think Elaine is the centerpiece. I still think she's like forgotten because she doesn't really have anything to do other than sit on the bed and talk to Roy. Like, you know what I mean? Like Jerry has a big storyline with Mulva. Jerry and Kramer both have the Junior Mint, which is, I mean, the episode's even named after that.
True. It used to be called The Artist, though.
That's true. When they realized this is a Jerry Kramer episode, but I don't know. For me, like Elaine and George, I think kind of got not screwed over, but just didn't get as much really deep, rich material as Jerry and Kramer did. I was wondering too, what if this doesn't really make sense, but what if George was the one to drop the Junior Mint with Kramer?
That would have given Dr. Wexler more artillery when he was testifying in the finale against George.
And maybe George would feel worse because he's like, it looks like I tried to kill this guy for the art to go up.
Now he's killed 2 people.
Yeah. I don't know, just throwing it out there. But other than that, man, great episode.
I love the behind the scenes stuff that we got with this particular episode with the audience member coming up with the Dolores, like them contributing to the final blow of the episode. I think that was great. Andy Robbins' first episode, and then him being reluctant to want to write it, that's crazy because this is such a classic episode. We also forgot to mention at the top of the show, Andy Robin, along with Spike Fairston, worked with Jerry on B-Movie.
That's right. We didn't mention that.
So check that out.
Did we see B-Movie?
We did.
Rich?
We saw that in the city at that. You know what I'm talking about?
My favorite theater in New York, Lincoln Center, 13.
Alice Tully Hall, the Met. But yeah, we had to go deep down because doesn't it go... There's like many levels.
Yeah, they have IMAX on the top floor. You got your second floor, and then you got like a basement with some of the... I don't like the basement, but it was interesting seeing it down there.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for B-Movie. Did you like it?
I remember enjoying it when I saw it, but it's been years since I've seen it. I'd like to revisit it.
Yeah, it would be interesting. But yeah, so that's the brainchild of Jerry, Andy Robin, and...
Spike Fairston, as well as Barry Martyr. Those are the 4 writers.
Barry Martyr. Sorry.
I got you.
All right. So let's figure out a rating here. What do you got, Vinny?
I'm going to give this episode 9 triangles out of 10.
Oh.
Ooh, are they isosceles triangles?
Interesting theme connecting this week's and last week's episode.
That should have been the reason why Kramer wanted to buy the art, because and Jerry drew that triangle from scratch. It's a doodle. Wow.
He could give Roy a run for his money. Yeah. Well, I'll be giving this episode 9 fat bastards that are going to get cut up out of 10. And, despite loving this episode and thinking it's one of the, all-time...
top 30.
Well, it's a classic, and it's iconic. I think that's the best word to describe it. Iconic. While it might not be one of my personal favorites, it's iconic. I'll give it a pretty good.
I'll give it a gold. This is a gold, Jerry, for me. All right, that's going to do it for us here on Seincast this week. Feel free to reach out to us with an email at seincast@gmail.com. We got a Twitter page, a Facebook, a Tumblr, and an Instagram.
That's right. We're also on iTunes. Check us out sometime. Subscribe. Leave us a rating and review if you have the time. We'd really appreciate it.
Do you tell your friends about our show, too? You should tell your friends if they like Seincast or Seinfeld.
That's a good point. If you have any Seinfeld friends that are fans of the show, tell them about our podcast. Get the word out.
Obviously, don't let them listen to this plug we just did.
Yes.
But other than that, have a listen.
And if you'd like to support the show in any way, we have a donate tab on our Tumblr page. Check that out. Thank you so much to everyone who has donated and helped support the show. Vinny, what episode do we have next week?
We're discussing the 22nd episode of Season 4, The Smelly Card. The first thing we're going to do is flush the follicles with 5 essential oils. Then we put you under a vapor machine, then a heated cap. Then we shampoo and condition and condition. Then we saturate the hair in diluted vinegar. 2 parts vinegar, 10 parts water. Now, if that doesn't work, we have one last resort. Tomato sauce.
Tomato sauce?
Yeah.
But for now, I'm Matt.
I'm Vinny.
Signing off. Seincast is not endorsed by Castle Rock Entertainment, Sony Pictures, or NBC. It is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. The official Seinfeld site can be found at sonypictures.com/TV/Seinfeld. Seinfeld, the Seinfeld logo, and all names, pictures, and audio of Seinfeld characters are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders.
Oh, that's terrific. Mulva.